Hi, everyone. This is Joseph Fedoriano here bringing you episode 4 of the Next Level series. What we do in this series is bring business people on the show to have them talk about their organizations as well as featuring those from the nonprofits that are on the show. The business people we meet are great, unique, creative, innovative, and talented. And our goal is to showcase their business to all of you. Today, we're going to meet Charlie Balducci, who is the founder and president of New York City Arts Cypher, a 501c3 nonprofit organization that is committed to promoting positive values through the arts and entertainment, through programs, projects, and events. NYC Arts Cypher is focused on the youth in our communities, particularly at-risk youth, who have difficulty working in an educational setting. The people in this wonderful organization have worked tirelessly to utilize its space and resources as a tool for change. Its programs and talented group of people make that happen. Here to introduce you, Charlie Balducci, or Charlie B., the founder and president. Hi, Charlie.
What's up, Joey P? What's up?
What's up? All right. I'm so happy to have you.
That was a great introduction. I feel like there's really not much for me to say from there, right?
Now, there's a lot for you to say.
No, I know that. Been in business a long time.
All right. I'm ready when you were to go. So, Charlie.
Born ready.
I love you, man. So, Charlie, tell us about how NYC Arts Cypher got established.
Well, to be honest with you, the idea of the Arts Cypher was more of like a collective. And the Crazy Head logo came to me kind of in a dream because I was, at the time, an actor, a dancer, a personality. I had been on a couple of reality shows. Things were going crazy in my life. And I came up with the Crazy Head concept because I had an opportunity early in my career to be able to produce, write, act, dance, do music. So the Crazy Head embodied all the different elements to me of my world, my life, and what I wanted to get into with arts and entertainment. It wasn't until we started doing the plywood event, which designed our 2-level facility on 12 Broad Street in Stapleton, where we started to realize the community aspect of it by allowing artists an opportunity to have an outlet. And then the people who got involved, some of them being young, some of them being from that area, we started to quickly realize with our involvement in the community that not going nonprofit made the most sense to keep the place alive. From a business perspective, it's another revenue stream. And it was the community affairs officer at the NYPD, along with the president of the NYF, the fire department's retirees organization, that pushed us into that. So then I became a founder of a nonprofit.
So tell us, I remember seeing that there are a lot of programs in the site, and also I noticed that there's a lot of artwork, amazing artwork. Tell us the artwork first and then the programs.
Well, the funny thing is, of all the crazy things that I've done in my life and all the opportunities, I am not a visual artist, meaning I do not spray can graffiti or street art, and I do not paint. But amazingly, that's our biggest program. In 2006, we launched Mural, which stands for Motivate, Understanding, Realizing Artists Learn. It was our first big initiative, and basically it was a response to all the kids that were getting in trouble through the NYPD's ComStat spike in graffiti-related arrests. We got involved with the Department of Probation, which ironically we're also currently engaged in the program, Mural 2020, virtually. But it was the first time that we got really, I don't want to say political, but very, very involved in branding one of our programs. And it really took off. It really struck, a nerve. We sparked Wynwood in Miami. We sparked the Bushwood Collective in Brooklyn. And I believe that the roots and the seeds that we planted really were the basis for what we call street art now, because at the time we took kids that were getting in trouble with graffiti, introduced them to the people from the 80s that they loved and respected, like Tats Crew, Gano, Prez, Trace, Echo One, Echo from the clothing company, Mears from 5 Points. These kids got an opportunity to really go on a mission. And then we brought them to local businesses and helped them utilize graffiti to help local businesses promote themselves. So some of these kids went on with a career path in the arts. Some of them just found out that it was a phase and they got out of it. But what stayed with the Art Cypher was our ability to bring in earned income through creating murals. We're actually on 2 of them right now, even through this COVID situation. And I just hope that on that note, don't want to get too much into it, that everybody's home and safe and good. And that was our first organized program. Prior to that, designing the plywood event involved bringing in international artists to create the floor and walls of our 2-floor facility.
Incredible.
And during that time, once we laid the floor down, we started our breakdancing program. But it didn't have the longevity and the launch that the mural program had, because we documented mural and we won Best Documentary at the Staten Island Film Festival.
That's incredible. So how have you done that? And tell us more about your organization. Tell us more about what you do, and then we'll get more into the programs later on in this interview.
So I spoke before about the crazy head. If you guys could see on my back,
I see the crazy head.
You can see NYCArtsCypher.org if you want to really take a look at it. It's very deep. I could talk about it for hours. But on the surface, basically, it's the elements of arts and entertainment, and what tie them all together is community. So you have dance, music, theater, digital media, visual arts, all of those, photography, modeling, fashion, and then in the middle, in the center nucleus, the center of it all, is community. So somewhere in this crazy head, I think community and the nonprofit was a plan. But what we do is we utilize each and every one of those departments, and we provide a program, a project, an event that pushes a positive value in that particular art. And we usually target emerging artists and at-risk youth. And also, the outcome has been a DOE contract. We've been in the schools now for about 4 to 5 years, paid. Prior to that, doing assemblies, we've been in schools all across the 5 boroughs. So we've been very happy about that, because in the most recent years, it's been our anti-bully program, Don't Be a Bully, that's taken off. One of them is called Hero, Help Everyone Respect Others. Basically, we give our PS and IS kids an opportunity to learn how to create comic book characters and heroes, kind of alter egos. It's like answering the question, if you got superpowers, what would you do with them? With great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly. And I want to talk to you more about the bullying thing. Bullying is a very hot topic, especially now because of the cyberbullying and things like that are going on. And as a survivor bullying, I respect your organization so much more than anything else in that aspect, because bullying can hurt people. I was a survivor bullying, and I know what it's like to be bullied. But more than that, though, what inspired you to put in, Don't Be a Bully? What inspired you to start Hero? What inspired you to launch those initiatives in your organization?
Well, for a long time, I realized that we had a responsibility as artists to spread a message with the encrypted code. We are the New York City Arts Cypher. Not many people know what a cipher means.
Talk about that.
It's grammatically spelled C-I-P-H-E-R. We spell it C-Y-P-H-E-R, because just like in hip-hop and just like in a lot of the English language, we flip it a little bit to make it ours. And basically, it's an encrypted code we use to speak to kids, emerging artists, youth, adults, in the language that they know, respect, and can relate to. So being that we were doing breakdancing programs, graffiti art programs, we felt the responsibility that when we did these things, it was important to relay a positive message. So a lot of our murals became anti-bully murals, speaking to the kids in a language that they respected. Wow, that's cool. Like when we did our assemblies, I'd go up with LeBron's on, I'd go in, matched in, big chain, like it's Charlie B, larger than life, crazy personality. Most people that went up there were in suits, talking about anti-bully this, anti-bully that. What
Yeah.
our program does is it really is promoting respect. It's the result of what's needed to stop bullying. It's not just going in and saying, well, traditionally, you're the big guy, you're pushing the little guy, or you're
No.
stalking somebody on social media saying this or that. What we do is we go in with the general idea that, hey, listen, you step on somebody's shoes, say you're sorry. You see somebody you know, put out your hand, shake the hand, look them in the eyes. Like, it's just something that I feel the new generation, the generations under mine, just kind of missed. And I think a lot of it is due to digital media and social media. And unfortunately now it's kind of like we're alone, but together all through virtual means. But our foundation was very much founded on uniting and being able to,
Exactly.
have the opportunity to be in groups and being unified. And we do that through, just like music brings people together, our organization not only brings people together through the arts, but we have this magnificent facility that when you're in there, you feel like you could be in the center of the universe.
It's amazing, your facility. I've been
Well,
there.
it's built by artists for artists. Like that's one good thing. Mara Montalbano from New York One, when she was with New York One, she coined it, the place built by artists for artists. Method Man called it a landmark of hip hop culture. Kool Herc called me the Ryan Seacrest of Staten Island. I mean, we've been there for 15 years, Joe. So, we could claim stake like Neil Armstrong on the moon. We could claim the stake to a lot of the programming, a lot of the exposure of the positive side of arts, of graffiti, of promoting breaking culture. And now that hip hop's so big, it's like, here we are. We're really the last man standing, and we're about to take a very different direction due to the circumstances that life has given us now. So we're just going to keep evolving with the times like we always have.
I want you to elaborate. Remember the programs that you were talking about earlier, the dance, the visual arts, those programs?
Yep.
I want you to elaborate more on those programs.
Sure. So our breakdancing program is called Cypher Syndicate, because a lot of b-boys that are coming up, or a lot of people that want to learn how to dance, they are part of a crew. Mm-hmm. So, there's the Dynamic Rockers, the Rock Steady crew. There's, different types of crews, and they recruit throughout their circles and their dance circles, which are also called, ironically, ciphers. So we created the Cypher Syndicate as just a name to the program. But basically what we do is we give an opportunity to kids that want to learn the b-boy or b-girl culture, and as well introduce them to, the masters of the trade. When people from other, countries come in, they stop by the Arts Cypher. Maybe we'll do a workshop or a class. We usually place breakers, or b-boys as they're called, into other dance studios so that they can get jobs. That's one particular thing. Breakout is our program for college students to learn digital media. Usually they come in as interns and they do our social media for us. I personally don't do our social media, as Joe knows. 123 Publishing is our new social media organization, while we are not able to have interns. And even if we have interns, Joe's still going to run the team. So it's called Breakout, and it not only involves digital social media or online, it also involves video production and editing, where I have a background and some awards for documentary and feature filmmaking. And I just get the opportunity to work with some cool people, collaborate, share my expertise and my educations in those particular fields. And our Don't Be a Bully program has become really more of a general, kind of like a general blanket of understanding for all our programs. But in the Don't Be a Bully program specifically is Hero, like I mentioned before, the comic book program, which is really cool. And it's really close, near and dear to me, because you may not notice, but I am a comic book geek. I love comic books. I've been reading them my whole life. And for me, this is an opportunity to see kids that wouldn't have had the opportunity to create something and do it and create it. And you'd be amazed at what a young kid, very young kid, are capable of doing if you just give them an opportunity.
That's incredible. And I want you to talk about what makes your organization stand out, or what makes your organization different from others in the industry. Talk to me about that.
The New York City Arts Cypher is a lot of things that a lot of other nonprofits aren't. First of all, we're resilient, we're fluid, constantly evolving, constantly recreating ourselves because everyone's an artist, including the founder and the president, me. All of the people that help us, whether they're on payroll, volunteer, or just looking for an opportunity, all come in with an understanding that we're collaborative minded, we're a positive environment. We have a really cool space. I mean, our space, I think, is the major thing that differentiates us from everybody else. People shoot music videos there. They shoot photography there. It's a large space. We could host events. We could host dance competitions. We could host classes, workshops, not only ones within our organization, but if you hire us or you use our facility, you're still helping the community because we're a nonprofit. So that's unique in itself. I don't know many places that do that. So the business model always has been unique. And we converted a spot that used to be a blight in the community into something positive, a community center, basically. I mean, we're not the YMCA or the JCC, but if we were, instead of basketball and swimming, it's breakdancing and graffiti art.
It's really incredible in that aspect. So I want you to elaborate. So what message do you want to drive home in that aspect? What message do you want to? And how do you present it?
What message do I want to
drive
home?
Who
am I speaking to when I give this message?
Exactly. What message I'm saying to the people who you deal with, to the public. So
well, I got to break that up because when you ask me that question, I want to speak to other business owners, potential donators or supporters, sponsors, and I also want to speak directly to the kids. First, the businesses. We provide services that bring in earned income to allow our facility to survive. So instead of just handing over money, which I'm a different type of founder. We don't do 4 major events per year just asking for money. What we do is we basically give our artists work because the biggest thing in the arts community is getting work. And for some reason, I've been lucky to be able to have, commandeered a lot of, or basically connected a lot of jobs for artists. So that not only helps the artists to make money, but it also helps the organization to make money. So we do mural design, we do online content, and we also provide entertainment or a variety of different things, even out of the box stuff. I mean, we've been asked to do so many creative things, and we're totally capable. Our network is vast, international even. So that's something that I would like to say to the business owners or potential sponsors or investors even. Our original game plan was to have one in every major city, but now with the COVID situation, we're going to turn the cameras inward and allow our spot that everyone from international waters and lands have come to appreciate. Now is going to be the place where we broadcast, what we do, so we could show the world, all the great things that we've done, because it's kind of been difficult. And this I speak to everybody now, and then I'll do my message for the kids. It's been difficult to exist with such a great location in Staten Island. A lot of people in Staten Island have this connotation, this mindset that everyone goes to the city. Amazingly, we get a lot of people from the city and from international locations that come to our spot to record because it's constantly changing. The inside walls, the murals are flipping, every other month or every time we can. The floors stay the same, but it's so unique. It's so beautiful. I hope if this is pre-recorded, you could, maybe shoot to some slides.
Yes.
But lastly, I want to address the kids. We always have had an open door policy. Our kids come in off the street sometimes with a camera and say, "Hey, I want to build my portfolio." Some kids just strolling off the street and they're like, "Listen, I'm ready to give up." And I'm able to find a way or something to give them to kind of have hope. Arts, I think, is a great vessel to give people who might not have things in their life, whether it's a full family structure, whether it's tendencies, to fall into trouble, whether it finds you or you have a tendency to be aggressive, picking up a hobby is good. People say that therapeutically. But what I found is having an open door policy, allowing these people to just come in and strike a conversation, has been productive, because there's been a lot of times outside of the programming, outside of pre-planning or premeditating a visit or an assembly or anything like that, or having a donation or a grant that we have to specifically do certain things. Having our location has been an opportunity to just be there for the public. And that part of it has had its own kind of life of its own that's been, beneficial to not only us with the talent, but also for the talent to have the opportunity. So, we have that open door policy. You ring the doorbell, you can get me on the phone. I mean, I'm accessible. And that's what I think has been a key to our 15-year success. And, like I said, this is definitely a time where we're looking at the future and saying, what can we do now to continue? So virtual is the only next logical step. So we do and would like some support from the Staten Island community. For those of you that know us, we're going to continue to do the job that we've done before that's kept us in business. For those of you that don't know us, NYCArtsCypher.org, or you can check with Big Joey P here, and I'm sure he'll do a great job of promoting us. And that's really, what the future looks like in 2020. We're currently, believe it or not, doing our mural program virtually, where people are getting the opportunity to give us their design ideas. Then we're bringing in our professional artists, in particular Dylan and Stem, to do the actual design on an actual wall right on the corner of Bay Street and Broad. So that's going to be our big jump off for 2020.
That's incredible, Charlie. I mean, that's so impressive that you guys are doing all this stuff, especially during this whole thing.
Yeah.
So what influencers, I want to ask you a question. So I know you guys are, big into the arts and entertainment, obviously.
Yep.
Have you folks ever used any influencers in this aspect?
No, actually not. That's the crazy thing. We haven't marketed. We haven't promoted. I've been on every news channel. I mean, did the weather on Channel 11, did features on Fox 5, pretty much had massive exclusives on New York 1. I've been on a lot of different channels promoting a lot of different things. But I have stayed away from social media, and I believe in some ways that might be the Achilles heel, but it also is an opportunity to introduce ourselves with the 15 years of credibility.
You meant like Method Man and other people like that, because I've seen on your Facebook, you met Method Man.
Well, of course. I mean, if you want to name drop, we do have a lot of influences that we could tap potentially that have been to our facility or that have used it for their music videos or have just been there to hang out, or if they know me. But we haven't really tapped into that yet, which is going to be exciting as our next step. Like I said before, we're kind of reinventing ourselves, jumping more into the virtual world instead of having everyone come to us. We're going to create a really cool way to now broadcast out. So we're reaching out currently to Pete Davidson. We have, ties to Staten Island thing. So, we want to look for people like him, Michael B. Jordan, Idris Elba. These are people that I've met before, and I'm going to look to try to get them to help us through social media to maybe get a little bit of a boost so that we can get our exposure and our platform, a little bit broader to be virtual.
Exactly. And so I really, this is just incredible. And that's obviously one of the ways you put your message to the public, through PR, through social media, things like that, through influencers. Yeah. Talk about some events that you've done, because I've seen you've been involved in a bunch of events. I know you spoke about, you don't really do the traditional fundraising that a lot of organizations do, but I know I've seen your company at several events. I've seen your company at the Richmond County Fair. I've seen your company, at Casa Belvedere. I've seen your company is pretty much omnipotent and omnipresent throughout the entire island.
Wow, you're getting divine on me. Okay, so yeah, thank you. I guess I wouldn't be that much good as a founder or a president if I didn't represent the organization or didn't try to get it out there as much as I could. We have been fortunate And I've been fortunate to meet great, um, planners, event planners, and people that have facilities and other organizations. We're very collaborative minded. We're very open to working with other organizations and businesses to help them creatively do, arts. I call it like arts meets business because it's a way that we could help people get a kind of one-up with local businesses through the arts where they wouldn't have thought about, creative ideas to help them market. We've been able to kind of position ourselves and find a niche, like I said, with murals, with certain online content. So yeah, we're visible at a lot of those events because we get invited there as a nonprofit, and we perform or we, showcase our talent. And it's been great. Break dancers, muralists, musicians have all represented the Art Cypher in many different ways over the years at many different events. Pretty much, if we have the time and someone's available, we'll go and we'll support. We'll support them and cross promote, and eventually and ultimately it supports us as well.
Amazing. So tell me, what makes people choose the Cypher? What makes people choose NYC Arts Cypher as an organization to go to? Talk about that.
Well, it really depends. Our funders choose us because we are unique and different, and we have the credibility and the time invested, blood, sweat, tears. This is not just an overnight thing. We put our time in. We've seen a lot of organizations say that they're going to do a lot of stuff and just come and go, and we're still there. So a lot of it comes down to credibility. I myself am a St. John's graduate with a degree in psychology. That comes in handy when we're having the big meetings with, other CEOs or other, founders or other organizational heads. That comes in handy. Our performance, our past events that we've done have been something that people recognize. So it's just become an opportunity for us to be different than other organizations. And there is not many, if I could say any. And I say that because international people, I'm talking about, people from Brazil, Italy, they come to New York and they come to the Art Cypher just to see it. It's almost like we're the Sistine Chapel of hip hop with a community twist. And it's just been so cool,
That's amazing, that aspect. And so I ask you this, very strongly. What are your long-term goals and your short-term objectives? Talk about those aspects.
Well, short term, I'd like to see us, recreate ourselves to allow for the issues that are affecting our whole world globally, and get more virtual, get off the ground, increase the platform, have more people know about us. I think most of the work is done, Joe. I think the truth is all we need to do now is let more people know about us, and the donations, the contributions, the support, the artists' support, the tastemakers, trendsetters, the influencers, they're all just that's all gonna happen organically because there's so much content that we're planning a documentary. So we're talking about short term, getting ready on social media. We're talking long term documentary. It'll be our second documentary about the organization. Hopefully we win an award for that too. It'll showcase what we've done in the last 15 years, and it'll also plant the seeds for what we do plan for the future. And like I mentioned before, instead of opening brick and mortar and having one in every major city, we might just turn the cameras inward and have our studio showcased, which will also bring the positive attention that Staten Island needs. Because I feel a little responsible for bringing all these cameras to Staten Island, and I feel like it went completely in a direction where the whole entire world thinks that we're all gangsters. And in truth, that's not the case. So I'm kind of taking it upon myself. I started it. I might as well put the cherry on top. And I want to let people know that not all of us are gangsters. Maybe we're just sticking up for ourselves or the people we love, or maybe we're sticking up for somebody who really needs it. And that's why the Don't Be a Bully program means a lot to me, because when you find out the whole story behind things, when you truly investigate, like I call it the second click. if people believe this stuff that they read on the front page of the news, or if they read something that somebody opinionates on social media, you're being influenced by somebody that has no credibility. Do a second click. Get a second opinion. Go deeper. Look a little bit more. And then you'll start to see that that one opinion could have been negative, where it could have been influenced by a million different things. But in truth, the whole circle or the whole real story is that this is such a positive thing. And that person could just be a hater. It's so, so true, because I've not only experienced it myself, you know, a style of bullying, okay, from local people around me that know that what I do and what it is that the organization does, okay? So, you know, I know you look at me and you say, well, okay, you run an anti-bully program, but look at you, you're a bully. You know, perception sometimes in reality.
You're far from a bully.
It's really not. It's really, really not. Get to know me.
Charlie, you know, I notice your organization, as your message has brought forth, was promoting positive values. And I see that you bring out the positivity in all of us, especially right here in Staten Island. You know, we are a positive borough. We're a great borough. And let me tell you something. You know, you come here, you get to know the borough. You'll love it here. I live right here in beautiful New York, Staten Island. I love New York very much. I love my whole island. I think Staten Island's a wonderful place.
Well, you know,
the organization highlights that in so many ways.
A lot of people say, why did you not call it Staten Island Arts Cypher? And like I said, it goes back to what I said before. You know, for an international recognition, New York City is the epicenter of everything, especially if you're going to start doing anything in hip-hop culture. And you can't deny that hip-hop is now, you know, you want to say omnipotent, omnipresent, whatever. Hip-hop, I think, has become the biggest thing and the most solidified, you know, category in arts and entertainment. And I think we got our foot in the door at the right time. And I think that the future looks bright. If we could last the next 6 to 8 months to a year, then the long-term goals
longer than that.
Well, these are rough times, Big Joe, especially for nonprofits.
Listen,
you know,
we can fight through this. We're strong people.
Hey, 15 years. I've weathered a lot of different.
Baby.
I've weathered a lot of different storms, war, pestilence, feast, famine. I've gone on a roller coaster ride. I mean, you know, it's difficult because Staten Island doesn't get the recognition or the foot traffic that we need to really thrive, like, let's say, the other boroughs. So it's a little bit harder. I think we have an advantage, like I said before, because we have international recognition. Sometimes I feel like more people know us outside of Staten Island than even in Staten Island. And I definitely know that more people know me personally, you know, through my endeavors than they do the organization. So I really, really want everybody that's watching this, that knows me, to just take a chance and click onto NYC Arts Cypher's Facebook, or go on the Instagram, or check out the website and see all the great work that me and all the artists.
The YouTube channel?
The YouTube channel, there's over 300 videos. I mean, you know, we've done so much, and we've worked with such great artists that have really, this could not have been, or it's not all about me. It's really all about the great artists and the collaborative people that have helped lift the Art Cypher and keep it alive.
And you've done this in so
little time. I want to shout out all of them right now. I can't go through all the names over 15 years. You know who you are. We thank you. We love you. And we're keeping it moving.
Yep, absolutely. Charlie, I want to thank you so much for being on the interview tonight. It really was a great interview, very substantive, and I appreciate, you know, featuring you on the Next Level series. It was great having you on.
Big Joe, you're the man, okay? You're an artist yourself, too. Don't sell yourself short.
That's kind of true in a way.
It's very true in a way. Come on, let them know. Let them know real quick. How many books have you published?
5 books, written 8. 3 were a little bit too controversial for publication.
Okay.
But
but in the sci-fi genre, right?
5.
So that's all. That's using your brain. That's using your mind, man.
You,
Congratulations.
Thank you, Charlie B. And your organization, you have an amazing thing going on here. 15 years. You got so much done in 15 years, such a short period of time.
And I feel like I haven't done nothing yet. Is that crazy?
Well, let me tell you something. If that's the case, that means that you're still growing. Let me tell you something. The good thing is this. Companies and organizations like yours, have to be evolutionary. You are an evolutionary organization.
I think all of this was pre-planned, and maybe we're following some sort of a destiny of path, laid out for us or something. But it feels kind of cool to be able to do this. It feels great to be able to make decisions, on a project basis, change your life kind of every day. I just want more people to get involved, more people to know about it, and have the Art Cypher in their life.
Absolutely. Well, Charlie, it was great having you on tonight, and I really
Joe, thank you so much, man, for your time.
Thank you so much. You're awesome.
Peace, man. Peace to everybody at home. Stay safe.
Thank you. And this was tonight's episode of the Next Level series. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. Thank you. And follow NYC Arts Cypher on Facebook as well. Bye-bye, y'all.